Lovers. Thanks for stopping by on my channel today. My project will be my new vehicle I just purchased yesterday. Got it really dirt cheap. It's got a great body, has a 3.0. It's a 2000 Ford Taurus. As the rain starts to fall, I don't know what it is. Every time I come outside to do something, it starts raining. I guess I need to check the weather more often. It's got a 3.0 in it, and it's only got 140,000 miles on it. The body's in great shape. I'm going to be doing a lot of cleaning, and basically this car is going to look like it's just come out of the showroom when I'm done with it. And usually on these cars, if you can get one with a good body and everything, you can really turn it into a nice clean car. And like I said, the body's in great shape. Here's a look at the inside. Yeah, they trashed. I don't know why people they trash their cars. They expect them to last forever. But it's in pretty decent shape on the inside. Like I said, it's going to be in really nice condition when I get done with it. But the point of the video is, it's got a blown head gasket. I'm going to have to replace it. And I wanted to show you what it's like to have a blown head gasket for those who have not experienced this and are just getting into the car world. I know there's hundreds of videos of people showing you what it's like to have a blown head gasket, but a lot of times it's different. On this one here, a lot of people just say just take off the oil cap where you put the oil in and just check it and see if there's mayonnaise or moisture on the inside. Well, there's a little bit, but sometimes you will not find that on these vehicles because if you look at the valve cover here, it's raised so far up that moisture sometimes doesn't get up on the cap. But there is a little bit there, so you may see that and say, well, that looks pretty normal. In some cases, it may be. So the next thing you really need to do, and this is a big telltale sign, and you need to check your oil. And if you have a blown head gasket, what happens, the antifreeze will mix in with the oil and turn it milky. And ta-da, there we go. Check that out. Nice and milky. So we've got a head gasket here somewhere, or something has happened. Either two things have happened. Well, actually, it could be three. The intake could be bad and leaking water into the system, but I doubt it because most of the time if you have an intake that's leaking, it'll just blow it out the exhaust. But on this head gasket, if you have a head gasket that's blowing, or if the head gasket blew and caused the head to get really hot, these are steel heads. Sometimes the heads will warp a little bit, meaning they'll become out of misalignment and you will get a leak. So it's either a head gasket, I think, or the head got really hot and it warped, causing the head gasket to blow. But that's something that we'll check out later. And the other thing you can do is come over here, check your reservoir, and it looks like crap. I mean, look at the stuff. There's rust and all that, which also will lead me to flushing out that heater core. I know it's going to be bad, but it's pretty easy to get into, and I've done a lot of these cars. And that's how you tell, basically, if you have a head gasket blown. But the big sign is the water and the antifreeze mixture in the oil. It will turn it into a milky color. And that's usually a dead tail sign right there. We'll set the camera down and we'll go ahead and start this car up and let you listen to it. Trust me, it doesn't sound very good. It sounds pretty bad. And that'll maybe also give you a nice sound of what it might sound like. Which today it doesn't sound too bad, but it'll start missing here. And see it kind of shaking here a little bit. And also if we go back on the exhaust and check the tailpipe. Oh yeah. So that's basically antifreeze. And you can put your hand down there and put it up your nose and smell it. And that's a good sign that you have pretty much a head gasket that's out. Got the car shut off. So after I started it, that mixture will get even worse. It'll become more and more sort of dark color. The moisture is trying to get out of the engine as you run it. It evaporates and it leaves the oil behind. But a lot of times if you can get rid of the oil, not the oil, get rid of the water and antifreeze, if you can drain it out, and if you need to move the car, if you can run it long enough, maybe a few minutes before it overheats, it usually gets the moisture out of the cylinder, and that cylinder will start firing. and the engine will run smoother. And you can usually move it around if you have to, but 90% of the time it's not even worth the effort. But most of the antifreeze has pretty much evaporated out of the engine cylinder. That it's bad. Which side, I don't know. It's making it run a little bit better. It's not missing as bad. But yeah, I just make a quick video. This is pretty much what you got to go through if you have a bad head gasket. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to pull it in my garage. I'm going to start tearing it apart. And by the way, this 3.0 is much easier engine to work on for head gaskets and all that. That other 3.0, this is the Vulcan. The other 3.0, the 24 valve engine, it has a timing belt, and it's a lot more involved. So I can basically take these heads off the intake and not even mess with the timing chain. This particular 3.0 has a timing chain in the front of the engine, and I don't even have to mess with it. So this is the easier one to work on, and I'm really surprised this steel head actually blew a head gasket. I haven't had one happen to me for a while, but they do happen. But I know the 24 valves engine on this 3.0 is pretty notorious for popping head gaskets. So there you go. Also you can see down here, they even put a new thermostat in it thinking that was the issue, and it didn't help. And when you blow a head gasket like that, it just pushes air into the engine and the coolant system, and it's not really circulating the right way, and it causes the engine to overheat and all that. So thought I'd make a quick video. So like I said, I will be pulling it in the garage. I'm going to make a video on the head gaskets and replacing it and all that, and that'll be in a separate video. But if you're just kind of searching on YouTube, surfing for head gaskets and what it looks like on a 3.0 Taurus. A lot of these 3.0s, I guess from 95 to 2005, basically the process is the same, except like I think in 2001 they changed this aluminum intake to plastic. Just it's the same way they did on my Expedition. I have a 2000 Expedition. It has the aluminum intake. Then on 2001 and on 2002 Ford Explorers, everything turns into plastic. And a lot of these gaskets go bad on the bottom of the intake, and it throws a PO 420 code 22, PO 4, I think it's 420 and 422. There's a bunch of codes that they throw because these gaskets get bad, these intake gaskets down there. So, all right, so that's it. One more quick look here after I started it, and you can see a little bit of moisture there. What I'm going to do when I pull it in the garage today, I'm going to go ahead and pull each plug out and try to figure out which cylinder, which head is bad. I'm really not going to, it's not going to really help me much. It's just more or less, I just like to know which side is bad. But when I go to pull these heads off and the intake and the back head off, I'm going to go ahead and just do it all. If the back one's bad, I'm going to replace it, but I'm also going to go ahead and replace the front one too, because the gaskets that you get, normally they're in pairs. So I might as well just do the whole thing, and I'll get an intake gasket with the kit, I'm sure. And I know the 2001 and beyond, all the way up to 2005 or 6, there's a little more work, and it's more involved with these gaskets. But this one here is, like I said, it's a simpler engine to work on. So, all right. Well, I've rambled on long enough on this Saturday, rainy Saturday, in the middle of January, but hey, at least it's warm. It's in the 40s today. It's going to be in the 60s again next week. Unreal, just incredibly warm weather for this time of the year. And the heater core back there, I will have to flush it out, because with this much contaminants in here, I know it's gotten into the heater core. So, all right, well, there you go. I'll go ahead and end the video. So, like I said, just a quick video on my next project for you guys that are Taurus lovers. And like I said, it starts right up, but the head gasket is bad. So that's how you check a head gasket. Well, this is how you will know if you have a bad head gasket, by doing those simple steps there, checking the oil and the cap and the antifreeze. So, and your temperature gauge. If your temperature gauge does not move and stays on low all the time, it's more than likely because a lot of the antifreeze has leaked out, and that coolant is not registering on the temperature sensor, and your engine will still run hot. So, all right, so there you go. Update in a few days once I start tearing this apart and putting the new head gaskets on it. So, talk to you then.